The iconic green dome of the National Assembly has become a symbol of our democracy over the years. Unfortunately, what lies behind the architectural masterpiece is an ugly side of the country that many are not too keen to associate with. I'm talking about the exclusion of millions of persons living with disabilities, despite an existing law prohibiting such discrimination. The questions that bothers everyone is this: why should they be the people's house and happen to be the same place discriminating against these people? Why is the National Assembly breaking its own law? It's not just my word for it. Yasmin Power, a person living with disability who has been advocating, for inclusion and end to marginalization, helped to document her reviews and thoughts when she decided to volunteer to enter into the People's Assembly, quote and unquote. Her findings were shocking.
I think from the outside, you think it's easy because it has a normal door from the outside which you can swim by. But from the inside, using the main toilet itself was exhausting. I think there was a lady that had to help me, and we had to go back and forth. We were literally fighting a war in order for us to use the door to get to the restroom. And even before I could go in, I was already telling her I don't think I want to use it anymore. I just feel like I should go out. But she insisted. So imagine if I didn't have an aid, someone didn't have an aid, and obviously your privacy too. You need that privacy. And your aid is not there. How are you supposed to use that? I feel they should. Let's even not talk about people with physical disabilities, people that are visually impaired and all. They should have like side walking ramps and all of that to support them.
Others are not there.
No, they are not. It's just a sink and the toilets.
What makes it more shocking is the fact that about 4 years ago, over 42 billion was allocated for the renovation of this building. Is it too much to ask if the lawmakers had decided to set aside perhaps 5 billion out of this money to make provisions, a little ramp here, a little lift there, or even a little staircase? What about making toilets that are accessible for them? Universal laws of design makes it mandatory that buildings should not just be accessible, but also usable. But for Bauer, as at the time she went into the building, I'm talking about a month ago, what she saw there was shocking. The documentation of her experience was not something to laugh about. But this is not just something that affects only her, this is something that affects millions of persons living with disabilities. A recent report by the United Nations puts this figure at over 35.1 million Nigerians who are living with disabilities. 7 years ago, the House of Representatives had a very, very not so pleasant experience when a person with disability, talking no other person than Kamaldeen, entered into the National Assembly to be given honor. To the shock of the members of the National Assembly, or the House of Representatives in particular, she had to basically crawl through the non-friendly environment. It's not just we saying it. A member of the House of Representatives, Johnson Agoma, even raised the point of order. Emotion, asking for an inclusion by the time the next renovation is done, so that persons with disability will have access.
Disability friendly. So I am standing on my feet to please create the indulgence of every honorable member that is here, that you give me the opportunity to move a motion, very harmless motion, that these chambers be revisited and structural chambers. I move a motion that will make it disability friendly and appoint a sign interpreter, so that when we are speaking, if we have a deaf honorable member, he will follow the debate on the floor of the House. So I so move.
They did the renovation. The part they forgot to do was for the inclusions of persons with disabilities.
because I'm yet to understand what the renovation was about. If we're supposed to look at renovations in the present times, I think buildings are supposed to have accessibility in the plan. They're supposed to have a plan from the FCT or something like that in order for them to make accessibility part of the building plan. So where did the money go to if you don't have accessibility in the plan?
And that has been the realities for them, not just on this particular building, but for all buildings that are public buildings. But the question that should we be asking is that, does the National Assembly still have the right to call itself a People's Assembly when millions are actually excluded from having access? Thank you.